Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to start my week-long reading vlog for Buzzwordathon. It is day number 1, and on Friday I just finished Read-A-Rama round number 12, and I thought it was very interesting that Read-A-Rama went from Saturday, Sunday, and then it went through the week, whereas Buzzwordathon starts on Monday and it goes through the weekend. So I usually do the majority of my reading on the weekend. So for Read-A-Rama, I started off really strong. I felt a great sense of accomplishment because I was able to start a lot. Whereas Monday, I'm working all week. And then by the weekend, that's when I really need to push myself to finish what I haven't read. So I started the readathon with Even When You Lie to Me by Jessica Alcott. I think this is a student-teacher forbidden romance story. I'm only on page 13, 12? 13. And it's basically two friends. One girl, I think the main character, doesn't really consider herself like typically pretty. Her mom's really, you know, in shape and toned and stuff like that. Her best friend seems to be really pretty as well, and she's just not classically pretty. Maybe she has a little bit of weight. That's the only thing that really stood out to me, is like why she doesn't think she's pretty when she talked about her shirt, how tight her swimsuit was against her stomach. So maybe some of that going on. I'm not really sure. But so far I'm enjoying it. It's a YA story, so it seems like it should be pretty easy to read. But I'm going to update you throughout this week, what I'm reading, what I think about it, and so forth. I just wanted to say good morning. It's day number 1 of Buzzwordathon. Hi friends, it's Monday evening, about almost 6 o'clock. Charlie. Oh, Charlie, what are you doing? Pets always interrupting us when we're filming. Here she is in all her glory. I'm here with an update for Buzzwordathon. Not that much of an update. So I started reading Even When You Lie to Me by Jessica Alcott. I started reading it this morning. I read 34 pages before I went to work. I did not read any on my lunch break, so I am still currently on page 34. But I already ran my errands. I'm not really making dinner, so I'm gonna go ahead and start reading some. I also got like some work stuff that I had to get done when I got home, but I just went out to the mail and I got this package from Book Depository, one of the books that I got. So the book that I got is this beautiful book. It's called Heartstopper Volume 1 by Alice Osman. She's written a couple of great novels, and this is like a graphic novel, and it looks really cute. It's kind of done in black and white, but the back says, boy meets boy, boys become friends, boys fall in love. How cute is that? Good morning, friends. It is day 2 of Buzzwordathon, and I'm here with a reading update. I planned to update you guys last night, but I went to bed pretty early. So I'm still currently reading Even When You Lie to Me. Last night I read, or yesterday I should say, I read up to the top part here of 164. That's pretty amazing considering I worked all day yesterday and I didn't really read until like, it was like after 6 o'clock I started reading. And I think I went to bed like 8 o'clock, 8:30. So I also wanted to point out that I love in books when you find the meaning behind the title, or like if the title is in the actual story. So it is in this one, and it's on page 70, and it says, I like you too, Charlie, he said, even when you lie to me. And I was just like, oh, I just love it so much. I read 163 pages last night and I'm already on page 203 this morning. So yeah, so I'm making good progress and the story is a lot different than I thought it would be. All I kind of really knew was like a forbidden teacher-student relationship. But it's not quite like what I pictured in my head. Basically, this student has a crush on her new English teacher. She loves to read, she loves to write. It's the beginning of the school year, and I like how like there's different sections broken up into the months, so you could see like time has passed. I read 2 more chapters, but I wanted to hop on and say one thing that like I don't understand is like this disconnect between this mother and this daughter. They like, the daughter seems to hate her mother. The girl is very, she doesn't consider herself pretty. She seems to be overweight. She's not girly girl. Like she doesn't like makeup, dressing up, things like that. I get that. And the mom very much wants to like take her to a spa, help her do her hair, help her do her makeup. And the mom says, you know, if you want a boyfriend, you have to do this. And the daughter is saying, Charlie is saying like, no, you don't have to do that. I don't want a boyfriend. And it's like pushing away the idea, but like they just get so angry towards each other about it. And I get it, but it's almost like overdone. Okay, I'm about to head out for work, but I read to page 243. So I'm definitely almost finished with this one, which makes me really happy. It is Tuesday night. It is a little after 6. And I thought I would come to you with a reading update. But first, I need to make some coffee. I'm not feeling good, guys. My throat is hurting. I can hear my voice going. I took Zicam. I took my elderberry pills. I'm hoping I can knock this out before it actually like sets in and takes over my life, because I cannot be sick again. I just got over being sick, like not last week, but the week before, and it was not pretty. I was sick for like an entire week, and I had, if you don't know, I'm a teacher, and we had class pictures. So even though I was super sick, I still forced myself to go into work so I could get the class picture done, and I didn't have stuff ready for a sub. So I don't know, it was just craziness, but I just got over being sick. So I'm making some coffee back there. And I started some laundry because I haven't done laundry in like 2 weeks. The week before last because I was sick, and this past week because I was reading for Read-A-Rama. Sorry I look like a mess. I'm here with a reading update. So unfortunately, I did not get to read on my lunch break. I was just like enjoying my lunch so much, and I actually worked a little bit on my lunch break, taking things down off the bulletin board, so I wouldn't have as much to do at the end of the day. I still had a crap ton to do, but anyway, but I'm currently on page 254, and the book is 341 pages. So 100 pages, less than 100 pages. So yes, I can totally read this tonight. It goes pretty quick. So I'm gonna sit down and read now. My husband went to my mother-in-law's house to pick up a lawnmower that we're selling. It's hers, and they're selling their lawnmower. So yeah, so I'm just gonna look a mess. Look at my hair. Oh my God. So I'm just gonna drink some coffee since I already took medicine, but like the warm feels really good on my throat. So I'm gonna read and drink some coffee and relax, and hopefully I'll be able to update you when I'm finished with this and let you know what I'm reading next. relax. Here with a reading update. I just finished Even When You Lie to Me by Jessica Alcott. I also found out this is her debut novel, and I actually really enjoyed this, which is kind of weird just because of like the subject matter. Read it so fast. I never wanted to put it down when I did, and I just wanted to keep reading because it like flowed well. It had diversity. It just had like slice of life, real teenager, like high school, senior in high school life. It was really cool. I like how it's broken up by months so you could like feel the passage of time. And it started the month before, or the day before her senior year started, and it went all the way up until that class graduated. So that was very interesting. I finished this one and I'm giving it 5 out of 5 stars. And next up on my TBR is What I Lost by Alexandra Ballard. And if I remember correctly, this is the author whose daughter suffered with this. This is another debut novel, and it says rings with authenticity as it follows Elizabeth's journey to taking an active role in her recovery. And I think it is the author's daughter who struggled. But I'm not like 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But this is an eating disorder story. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's like food restriction and stuff, so there will definitely be some triggering things in here if you struggle with those types of things. Hi friends, good morning. It is day 3 of Buzzwordathon, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an update and also some corrections from last night. So I'll start with saying, yes, I did finish Even When You Lied to Me, but I did end up rating it 5 stars, even though like the more I think about it, it's probably 4 stars because there were a couple of things that still really bothered me. The mother-daughter relationship was very strained and there was no explanation, and it never really like wrapped up. Like, did it get better? Did it stay the same? What's going on with that? And also her best friend was kind of a bitch. And it seemed like Charlie always had to be the one to kind of like say, okay, you're just that way, I like you anyway. They did kind of explain it earlier in the book, like they grew up together, they've been best friends forever, and she kind of knew her best friend wasn't perfect, but she accepted her for what she was. So that was okay. I wish some of the male characters in here would have been gay. It would have explained, or it would have like, I just thought they were gonna be, I guess. I really was hoping that they were. As far as the student-teacher relationship, I was going into this thinking that that was going to be like the main storyline. However, the main storyline is really Charlie living in her best friend's shadow, and then she has this major crush on her teacher, and she's kind of hanging around the teacher a lot, and all of this. So you really don't know what it's gonna lead to, and that's what kept me on the edge of my seat. Like, are they actually gonna do something? So yeah, I rated this 5 stars, but there were a few things about it that weren't my favorite. But like the writing was super fast and easy to get through. I liked the characters who were even unlikable, and the teenager, it just seemed like a real slice of life from high school. Then I moved on into What I Lost by Alexandra Ballard, and I originally thought this had to do with one of the very like lesser known eating disorders. However, this deals with anorexia and bulimia, and the book that I was thinking of that the author's daughter suffered from, what she wrote about, was Sad Perfect by Stephanie Elliott, maybe. It's the one that has like a green hardcover, but it has like a white, and it has like a safety pin on it, which again, I don't think is a great choice for a book cover. However, I have not read that book, and that's the book I was getting this one confused with. This one is about our main character goes to a treatment facility. Her parents drop her off, and she's like a size 0, and basically she's in treatment because she's anorexic, and pretty much she's in treatment right now. She just had a bone density test. Her roommate is new as well, Lexi. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far as much as you can enjoy a book like this. The writing is really easy to get through. Last night I read 109 pages, so that put me on chapter 17. Right now I am starting chapter 19, so I was able to read a couple of chapters this morning. I'm hoping to read at least one more before I go to work, and once again I'm hoping that I will read on my lunch break today. It's supposed to be crappy outside. It's already pretty overcast, so that should give me a good place to go to my car, read some of my book, and just relax. Just got home from work. It's the end of Wednesday, but it's Survivor night, so I'll definitely be watching Survivor. I have watched Survivor religiously since the 2nd season. I love that freaking show. I applied to be on it once. I didn't get chosen, obviously. Anyway, I have some work to do here in a little bit, so I'm gonna work on that. It shouldn't take that long. However, the good news is that I did read some of my book on my lunch break today. Still reading What I Lost. Currently on page 164, so not as much progress as I wanted, because by the time lunch rolled around, I was starving and I was craving Pizza Hut pizza. So I drove to Target and got one of those like mini personal pans. So I did that. So that took some time, so I didn't have like too much time to read, but I did read on my lunch break today. So I should definitely be able to finish this between today and tomorrow. And then Friday, I'll start my last book on my TBR, and then I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to read. So yay. But Friday I do have plans after work to meet a friend. Saturday I don't really think I have too much going on, but Sunday I do have a couple things to do. So hopefully finish this, start that, and finish it before the readathon's over. That's the plan. Good morning, friends. It's day number 4 of the readathon, and I'm here with a reading update. So last night I read up until page 291. I'm on chapter 37. I'm enjoying it. I guess if you read a lot of these like mental illness, eating disorder stories where they go to treatment, they're all kind of a little similar. What I think is different about this one is that our main character that goes to the treatment center, she only fights it for a little bit, and then she pretty much starts getting healthy, and I think that's a good thing. Hi friends, it's the end of Thursday, day number 4 of Buzzwordathon, and I just got home from work, and it was rough today, you guys. It was a very long day. It's been a hard week, actually, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure why. However, I am making progress on my book. I only have this much more to go. I am on chapter 41, page 317. I did read some before work. I did read some on my lunch break, and I'm about to sit down and just like finish it out now. I also have some coffee here, and I have some chocolate. This is this bar. This is a chocolate sundae. It has milk chocolate with vanilla and chocolate fillings with almond pieces. So I'm gonna have that. And I also have some fat-free, gluten-free, low sodium mini gummy worms. So those are my snacks before dinner. I'm probably gonna have leftovers for dinner. So spaghetti for dinner. And just like read tonight, because I'm so glad it's Friday tomorrow. I'm ready for this week to be over. But my goal, finish this book, start the new one. I'm kind of shiny, I'm kind of a hot mess, but I just finished reading What I Lost by Alexandra Ballard, and I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars. Now, I won't say it's like the most interesting mental illness / eating disorder book that I've ever read, but I did like that they covered many aspects of it, including the treatment and love not being able to fix everything, and like the struggle between our main character is a teenage girl, so the teenage girl and her parents, and the teenage girl with other patients at the hospital or at the recovery center, and also her friends back home and that whole thing. And I also liked knowing her inner dialogue, and even through the very end, how it's not a do this thing, here's a magic pill, you're all better, your eating disorder is gone, but that every single day it's something you have to deal with, and you can be triggered at any moment, and it's a battle that you just have to fight over and over, and you can't do it for anybody else except for yourself. So I absolutely loved this one. I will say it was a little, like, there was nothing stand out or special about this book, but I did really like Tristan, and I hope Elizabeth does okay. It's kind of like, I wish she was a real person. I mean, I don't, because like I don't wish eating disorders or mental illness or any of that on anybody, but if she were a real person, I wish I could check in with her and find out that she was doing amazing. You know what I'm saying? But finished this one, so that 2 books that I have read now for Buzzwordathon, When and What. Next up, and the last book on my TBR, is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. I have read 2 previous books by Becky Albertalli, Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and what is it, Unrequited, The Upside of Unrequited. Adam Silvera, I have only one of his books, but I haven't read it. But if I love this, it's last book on my TBR, I will probably seek out other works by him. Okay, friends, it is day 5 of Buzzwordathon, and I realize that this camera has pretty much never moved all freaking week. And that's just because it's easier, because this is where I read in the morning, and then I come home and check my computer, and so I'm here to read in the evening as well. However, I am so looking forward to this weekend that I can't even tell you. This week has been so long and so like strenuous. However, I did start What If It's Us last night, but I didn't start it until I went to bed, because after I finished What I Lost, my husband surprised me and said, hey, let's try this new restaurant. So we went to that, we went and did that, and then we came home and we watched the last 2 episodes of season 2 of The Punisher. And even though that show was like super graphic, and I'm talking super graphic, I still really quite enjoyed it. And I'm sad that it never got picked up for another season, but I guess I don't really know where they could go from there. So I didn't really pick up my book until I went to bed, which was around 10, I'm gonna assume, and I was pretty tired. So I only read 20 pages. Hey guys, it is officially weekend status. It is 3:49. I did not take my book with me to work. And I think I am gonna take that nap after all. So I'm actually going to make a cup of coffee because I'm craving coffee. I'm gonna get in bed. I'm already in my pajamas. Well, I had this shirt on, but I threw on my pajama pants, and I'm going to maybe read a little bit and then take a nap because I do have a headache, and I'm like, ugh. So I'm hoping to get rid of the headache. And then I'm just gonna read and keep you guys updated. Good morning, reader fam. It is day 6 of Buzzwordathon, and I'm here with a reading update. I actually didn't read a lot yesterday. I took a nap and I also watched some TV, so caught up on some of my shows. However, I did read 72 pages yesterday, so I'm on page 73, and if I'm being completely honest, these books, Even When You Lied to Me and What I Lost, immediately drew me into the story and wanted to keep me reading. This one is definitely a little bit slower to get started, and I think I might have to get this on audio, like use my Audible credit to get the audiobook so I can push myself to actually read this, because I do have other things going on this weekend, but I really want to try to finish this, so I don't know. Hi friends, I'm actually here with a reading update. It is Saturday, early evening. It's 4:53, and my husband and I had one errand to run. We also went to breakfast and we got food coma. So we came home and took like a 3-hour nap, which is like a thing I can do on a Saturday. And when I woke up, it was so sunny and beautiful outside. I just got finished like watering some plants. I like took them outside and watered a couple of my smaller plants. But I did go forth with purchasing the audiobook for What If It's Us, and it is helping so much. I know there's at least like 2 different narrators, and I think that really helps, like switch back and forth between the different main characters, Arthur and Ben. I am currently on page 153, which means I read like 70-ish pages before I went to bed. Good morning, friends. It is Sunday, which means it is day 7, the last day of Buzzwordathon, and I'm still currently reading What If It's Us, and I was kind of struggling to get through it. So I got the audiobook on Audible. I have like an account and stuff, and I was able to read 282 pages. So I'm on page 283, which is great because it's like a 400 and something page book. 433 pages minus 283, you do the math. That's how much more I have to go. I'm not feeling well this morning because I started my period. Yay! Okay guys, I'm here with really great news. I wish I was better. I wish this was a better moment to wrap up Buzzwordathon, but as you know, I started my period after 11 months of not having it, and I'm not doing so good. But I did want to say that I finished What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. It was my last book of this readathon, and I just wanted to finish up with my thoughts about this book and everything that I read in general, and say thank you so much for joining me for another week of reading. So basically, before this readathon and readarama, I was reading about like 1 or 2 books maybe a month, but this month I blew it out of the water because I read 4 books last week and I read 3 books this week, and that is amazing. So this was definitely my best reading month so far this year, thanks to those 2 readathons. Okay, so here's the dealio with What If It's Us. I really did enjoy it. I really did. However, the beginning was really slow and it took a long time to get into. So much so that I was like trickling through the first few chapters, even though they were like shorter chapters and it was alternating perspectives. I still needed to get the audiobook. So I got the audiobook and it started going much quicker, and I was able to read larger chunks of it, and the story really started picking up, and I loved like the themes of friendship and just relationships and family drama and like discovering yourself and all of that, and finding out who you truly are and being who you truly are, and like rekindling old friendships, and you know, just all of the themes that this book stood for, the diversity in this book. I loved all of that, but what I did not love was that it was so slow in the beginning, and I don't like the ending. even though the story had an epilogue, I still don't think it's finished. I wanted more. I needed a finality. What happens to these two characters? Are they together forever? Are they separate forever? Are they best friends forever? Like, what happens? I need like the final say, and I don't necessarily always need a wrap up when it comes to books. Like, usually I like sometimes when authors leave it open to interpretation. This one, it was too open for me. I need a better ending. So there's that. That's my thoughts on that. However, I did read Even When You Lied to Me by Jessica Alcott, and I rated it 5 stars. Even though it wasn't exactly what I was looking for when I went in, it was super fast paced, the writing was easy to get through, and it kept me on the edge of my seat enough, and it explored a lot of topics as well. So I ended up rating this one 5 stars. And then I read What I Lost, which I originally got confused with another book synopsis, and I thought it was about one eating disorder, and it ended up being about like anorexia for a main character. And even though it was nothing quote unquote special or different outside of a normal eating disorder book where someone goes to the hospital, they get better, it was different in the fact that I like how quickly it seemed that the main character decided to change herself and make herself healthy, even though we got a lot of insight into her inner thoughts and her inner dialogue, and how it was a lot harder than she was making it seem on the outside. So I ended up rating this 5 stars. And then of course I finished this afternoon What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera, and I rated this 4 out of 5 stars, just because the beginning was really slow and I don't think I could have got through it without the audiobook, and the ending wasn't good, the middle was amazing. So 5 stars. And I was still gonna give it 5 stars even with the slow beginning, but then I got that open-ended ending even with the epilogue, and I was pissed. So these are the books that I read during Buzzwordathon. Let me know if you participated. Let me know what you read. I'm so happy that I read all of these because these two have been on my shelf for a very long time, and this was a newer purchase, so I'm happy to have read that. But that's the end of Buzzwordathon for me. These are the only books that I currently had on my shelf with buzzwords in it, but I liked participating this round. I'm hoping to participate in future rounds. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all having a lovely day, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.